Kids get bullied at school every day, and often the school is not there to help out. And there's a very disturbing statistic I'd like you to know and know what to do about it. And later in this video, you'll get 6 critical questions you should ask your child's school to see how complete or lacking their bully prevention program is. All right, let's do this. In this video series, we've been going over some of the basics and the important steps you need to take. And one of those steps is to work with the school to help keep your child safe. But sometimes the school is there for your child and sometimes they are not. Bullyingstatistics.org reports, quote, in about 85% of bullying cases, no intervention or effort is made by a teacher or administration member of the school to stop the bullying from taking place. Now, I don't think that's because there was a teacher standing there and letting the bullying happen. I mean, I'm assuming that statistic is because usually bullies only act up when there's no one around that's going to get them in trouble. But either way, we need to keep an eye out for our children and make sure they are getting the attention and the assistance and the support they need. And before I go any further and ruffle anyone's feathers, I want to say that I believe most schools and most teachers are working very hard to protect our children from bullying. You know, there's some amazing teachers and schools and staff out there that's building up our future champions. But you also got to be aware there are some horror stories out there too about other schools that totally drop the ball. And that's why we need to cover our bases. In our last video, we talked about documentation and what you need to report, and I'll link to it in the description below. Once you have that documentation, you need to tell the school what's going on. If the bullying is happening at school, you need to reach out to them, your teacher, the vice principal, the principal, your guidance counselor. That's what they are there for, and they're there to help. And they need to support you. The National School Boards Association says, quote, school districts have legal and ethical obligations to promote safe and healthy environments. And that includes, quote, emotional and physical safety and security. And that includes for you and your child. The NSBA website also lists anti-bullying statutes that include conduct like bullying, cyberbullying, harassment, intimidation, threats and violence. These are the things you need to build your team for. So let the school know what's going on, bring them into the loop, and see how they can help. Make an appointment and sit down with the school. Or if you want, there's usually ways you or your child can report bullying anonymously. You know, some schools have a text and a tip number where you can send texts anonymously, and some schools have an app or a phone number you can use in the same way. And as a parent or a caregiver, one of the most important steps you need to do is research your school's bullying policy. Find out how they handle bullying, what the consequences are, and how they handle conflicts. And as I mentioned, sometimes the schools do drop the ball. And if you want to figure out exactly where your school is coming from and how complete or lacking their policies are, I have some targeted questions you can ask to help. When you talk to the school, ask them, does the school have a process in place to prevent all forms of bullying, including emotional and physical harm or attacks? Do they have an effective system to review and deal with acts of bullying? Do they have a procedure in place to supervise students who have already committed acts of bullying or hostility? Do they have a process to monitor and investigate acts of cyberbullying, whether during school hours or after? If a crime has been committed, or if the act included gang activity, how will the school proceed and work with the police or courts? And finally, has the school implemented a suicide prevention and intervention program? And does the staff have the training necessary to recognize the warning signs, address these issues, and notify the required people or organizations? You know, these are important questions, and the school should have a clear and firm answer for each of these. If they don't, that could be a red flag. Matter of fact, these anti-bullying policies should be clear, printed, and posted publicly for everyone to see and understand. Again, let me say I think most teachers and staff are amazing supporters of our children, and they're doing incredible jobs to build up our future rock stars. But those questions will help you know exactly where the school stands, where you and your child are in the process, and where you need to go to drive this process forward. Because you know what? No one is really there for our children like us parents or loving caregivers. And then in the next video, we're gonna cover what to do if you are not getting the help you need from the school and how to run it up the flagpole if you need. All right, if you got some good stuff out of today, hit the like button down below and consider subscribing. And please feel free to share this video with another parent or someone you think it could help out. Plus, if you'd like some more training, check out all the other links on the basics, covering your bases, in the description down below. And thank you for being a great supporter for your champ. Go make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.